Did you know that known Tesla bull Cathie Wood recently made a huge controversial warning about Tesla stock? This may be worth considering given how Wood exhaustingly studies the economy before speaking and giving her opinion to the public. Make sure to stay tuned and keep watching to find out what Cathie Wood has to say. With everything that has been happening across the globe, which directly and indirectly affects the economy, it is quite hard for experts to provide accurate predictions. Still, based on numbers and data, analysts come up with the prediction for the immediate future, only as they cannot make long-term ones since the economy has been fluctuating as of late. In today's video, you will find out why Cathie Wood recently made a huge controversial warning about Tesla stock. Tesla is an American automotive and clean energy company that designs, develops, manufactures, leases, and sells electric vehicles and energy generation and storage systems in the United States and other parts of the world. With futuristic and eco-friendly goals, Tesla became a name known all over the globe. Analysts and investors have differing opinions on Tesla's current standing in the stock market, but a lot of them remain bullish and believe that the stock is a good long-term investment. According to financial analysts, the world may well possibly be on the verge of a global recession of cataclysmic proportions. This may seem to be quite scary for most people, but not for one of the richest men in the world, apparently. Musk showed a bring-it-on attitude in this forecasted impending global recession. He even said that this could actually be a good thing for everyone. A known Tesla bull, Cathie Wood, recently shared a warning about the company's stock. Cathie Wood was described by Forbes as an American investor, a star stock picker, and the founder, CEO, and CIO of ARK Invest, a company with $60 billion in assets that invests in innovations like self-driving cars and genomics. Cathie Wood is often called the most underrated investor in the game, since not only is she incredibly persuasive in her investment arguments, but she's also got the proven results to back up her surprisingly discerning claims. She is also known to provide monthly updates about several things like monetary and economic policies, innovations, what can be expected in her field of expertise, and comments on the Federal Reserve System decisions. It can be noted that earlier this year, Cathie Wood stated that we don't have an inflation problem. The star investor seems to remain confident in her stance, as she recently shared, "We are not overly concerned," referring to inflation and rates hammering ARK. In fact, Wood sees huge inventories as evidence inflation will ebb. She said the massive inventories now held by U.S. companies suggest that inflation will die down. Despite seeing her funds hammered during the plunge into bear territory for stock markets amid inflation worries and rising interest rates, noted tech investor Cathie Wood stays true to her investing style, which is making bold bets on buzzy future leaders, including Tesla. Tesla stocks recently plummeted due to the numerous global issues the world has recently encountered that affected the economy. Supply chain issues and rising gas prices are just some of the dilemmas the entire world faced in the past years. Still, in a new interview with Goldman Sachs, Wood stated, "The greater risk by far is deflation." Wood said in an interview with Ed Ludlow at the 2022 UP Summit, a conference on the future of mobility hosted by Walmart Inc. heirs and Up. Partners, a venture capital firm investing in mobility startups that Wood personally backs. Slowing global economic growth will soon make deflation rather than inflation the greatest driver in financial markets, shared the star investor in a webinar. Wood, whose ARK Innovation Fund skyrocketed in 2020 during the COVID-19 pandemic, but has significantly lagged the market over the last 12 months, said that historically low consumer sentiment, rising gas prices, and accelerating technological innovation will weigh on sectors such as energy stocks that have rallied this year. Wood expressed, "We believe value strategies are in harm's way. The greater risk now more than ever is deflation." Higher than expected inflation data was recently released showing prices rising at their fastest pace in 41 years, sank U.S. stocks and bonds over the last 2 trading days, confirming that the benchmark S&P 500 is in a bear market. ARK Innovation is down 61% for the year to date, as its top holdings such as Tesla Inc., Zoom Video Communications Inc., and Roku Inc. have dropped 30% or more over that time. One of ARK's most famous bets has been on Tesla Inc. After ARK trimmed its Tesla holdings for at least 4 quarters in a row, it's been buying the electric car maker again after the stock sank nearly 50%. Do you share Cathie Wood's concern about deflation? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. A lot of investors have expressed concern about Musk's stake, while dividing his time among several projects. Wood said it's important that he stay at Tesla to oversee the development of autonomous driving, a mode of transportation that her firm predicts will generate $10 trillion in revenue by 2030. He doesn't need to stick around for the EV side of it. He needs to stick around for the autonomous side, Wood said, referring to the declining global shipping rates and likely discounting at retailers due to high inventories. Wood reiterated that inflationary pressures have begun to unravel. I do think we are on the other side of the inflation problem, Wood said. She later added, I think the rates market is telling us that inflation will eventually come down to levels consistent with positive real growth, and have been surprised that more investors don't seem more reassured by this. In fact, investors haven't been reassured about much of anything lately. U.S. stocks sank into a bear market on Monday, with the S&P ending the session more than 20% below its recent record high in January. The apparent catalyst for the sell-off was a surprisingly hot Consumer Price Index, CPI, on Friday that stoked fresh rate hike fears. Still, Wood doesn't seem like a shaken investor. Many people have denigrated our strategies as profitless tech, conceptual capital, or tech wreck, terms you didn't hear during the tech bubble, she told Goldman. That's a beautiful thing in some ways because it means that a lot of negative news is already priced in. Yet, despite that pessimism, 2022 to 2024 consensus estimates of revenue growth for our portfolios are in the 25 to 27% range. If this were a replay of the tech bubble, our portfolios would be showing negative expected revenue growth. While other investors try to hedge inflation risk with ETFs following the natural resources theme, others still believe in Cathie Wood despite performance woes. Disruptive technology topped last week's flow receivers, having pulled in $317 million as investors renew faith in Cathie Wood and her strategy. Wall Street's star stock picker Cathie Wood has seen her fortunes wane over the past year as her flagship tech innovation fund slid more than 50%, losing $13 billion in market value. Despite this, investors have continued to buy into her futuristic vision, according to data from industry tracker Lipper, not only holding tight but plowing more than $2 billion in additional net inflows into the fund at her firm ARK, a name inspired by the Ark of the Covenant, a biblical vessel of divine revelation. People like to bet on somebody and look someone in their face and see their conviction, said Tom Lydon, an asset management veteran. That has helped override any concerns that this fund is broken. And Cathie Wood is indeed that, confident in her convictions. An analyst at investment research firm Morningstar, Robbie Greengold, who often speaks with Wood, shared, "She doesn't present herself any differently in person than in public." He explained that Wood's conviction does not waver even in private. However, critics are always just around the corner. They said that Wood's success relies more on the Federal Reserve's loose monetary policy than on her investment research or stock-picking prowess. Critics continue to argue that Wood's quasi-prophetic certainty about the future is detached from reality and that ARK's performance has been inflated by pouring money into thinly traded stocks. Of course, the existence of critics comes with that of Cathie's and ARK Invest's true believers. While many investors bought high, minimal outflow shows that ARK Innovation's fans still have faith. As always, the decision of whether to heed experts' words falls at your discretion. Like them, it is important to do an exhaustive study on the economy and stock market before making any major decision. For more Tesla stock content, visit our channel and watch our other videos.